So, in the year 2026, the world's economy face-planted so hard that California said, screw it, let's monetize murder. Thus, the California Grand Lottery was born. Win the jackpot, and suddenly everyone legally gets a chance to hunt you down like you're a walking ATM. But hey, no bullets allowed. Gotta get creative. Jump to LA in 2030. A guy named Sean hits the jackpot and is instantly the most popular guy in town, in the everyone wants to stab me kind of way. A massive angry crowd chases him down the street, but Sean goes full action hero mode, drop-kicking randos left and right before pulling off a majestic fence leap like he's training for the Hunger Games Olympics. He crash lands into a random house through a window, because doors are for losers, and meets a sweet-looking grandma, who he immediately robs by smashing her phone like it personally offended him. Meanwhile, a floating surveillance drone is outside, documenting all this madness like it's filming a reality show called Who Wants to Kill a Millionaire? As Sean tries to catch his breath, sweet granny goes full John Wick and casually whips out a Grand Lottery bolt gun. Boom, Sean is donezo. Then she cracks open her ticket like a golden Willy Wonka bar and summons the lottery patrol. They Kool-Aid man their way through the front door, confirm Sean is now certified dead meat, and hand granny a fat check for $22 million. Next thing you know, she's on national TV smiling like she just baked a pie, not ended a man. Welcome to the future. About a month later, Katie rolls into LA on a rickety bus that smells like expired dreams and mystery snacks. She's here to reboot her acting career, hopefully with less rejection and more applause this time. While sitting in her seat, she lovingly stares at a tiny Oscar keychain like it's her emotional support statue. It clearly means a lot, probably a souvenir from her glory days, or just a really committed impulse buy. Nearby, there's a little girl trying to exist peacefully, but her dad is on the phone roasting her like it's an open mic night. Katie's not having any of it. She scoots over, whips out her best fake cop voice, and basically threatens to ship the guy off to the island of bad dads via Social Services Express. He immediately straightens up and becomes father of the year, for at least 5 minutes. As Katie is basking in her imaginary badge glory, a sweet-looking old lady waddles up and thanks her like she's some kind of bus-riding superhero. Heartwarming, right? Until Katie checks her wrist and realizes, surprise, Granny swiped her watch like a retired raccoon with arthritis. Classic LA welcome. Katie then spots a flashy ad on a street sign for Lewis's protection agency, featuring buff bodyguards and a font that screams, "We mean business." She sighs, clearly wishing she had a personal army too. Meanwhile, as the bus rumbles along, she looks out the window and sees that the streets are basically an open-world video game. Tense people, angry people, and people ready to throw hands for no reason. On top of that, the news can't shut up about the next California Grand Lottery drawing, which is just 18 hours away. Everyone's either hyped or horrified. Or both. Probably both. Ticket sales have gone absolutely bananas, smashing records like a toddler on a sugar high, and the next jackpot? A jaw-dropping, nosebleed-inducing $3.6 billion. Meanwhile, in his man cave of doom, a guy named Noel is getting his weapons ready like it's a garage sale for chaos, singing the Ninja Turtles theme song at full volume like it's his personal war anthem. Cowabunga indeed. Elsewhere, Katie finally arrives at the place she rented online, only to find out she's been majorly catfished. The room looks like it barely survived a tornado that was also mad. Her new roommate, Shadi, turns out to be the kind of person who puts her own selfies in other people's rooms, tells jokes so bad they should be illegal, and screens calls from her sweet mom like she's dodging the FBI. Oh, and the cherry on top, Shadi has a walking red flag for a boyfriend named DJ, who thinks slapping Katie while giving her the keys is a prank. Spoiler, it's not. The next morning, while Katie is still questioning her life choices, Noel's ad pops up on the TV. He's now offering his Deluxe Human Shield services to anyone who wins the Grand Lottery. He's part bodyguard, part ninja, part motivational speaker. Then things get worse. Katie wakes up to find the upstairs bathroom has gone rogue and started leaking like a drama queen. The ceiling's dripping, her clothes are soaked, and her fashion dreams are now marinating in ceiling juice. She calls Shadi, ready to yell, but Shadi's solution? I can rent you my clothes. For a price, of course. With no better option, Katie's forced to torch what's left of her savings on a tragic outfit that looks like it lost a fight with a clearance bin. She hails a cab in a rush, praying she doesn't look like a fashion crime scene at her audition. Katie hops into a cab, hoping for a peaceful ride, but instead she gets a driver who thinks he's hosting his own weird podcast. He keeps blurting out super inappropriate comments and spilling celebrity tea like it's hot lava. He even casually mentions that Machine Gun Kelly apparently has his own secret apocalypse bunker, like he's prepping for a zombie attack and bad album reviews. When Katie finally gets to the audition venue, which looks suspiciously like a former yogurt shop, a snooty employee pops up and demands $400 just to let her breathe in the building. Katie's wallet weeps, but she hands it over and marches in like a champ. The audition kicks off and Katie launches into her backstory like she's on a talent show episode with sad music. She explains how she used to be the queen of kiddie commercials. Juice boxes, glitter shampoo, you name it. But then she paused her booming baby career to take care of her sick mom. After her mom passed away, she decided it was time for a comeback. And possibly an Oscar. She reaches into her pocket for her monologue, but instead of notes, she pulls out Shadi's sketchy lottery ticket. The moment her thumb brushes it, the thing lights up like it just found its soulmate. Flash, a drone somewhere snaps her photo, and bam! Katie is now officially registered as a Grand Lottery contestant. Congratulations. Also sorry. Panicking, she shoves it back into her pocket and tries to power through the audition, but it's a disaster. The casting folks act like she just insulted their cats. She's booted out faster than you can say next. In the hallway, the other actresses try giving her awkward chin-up pep talks, but suddenly, beep beep boop, everyone's lottery tickets start going full-on disco mode. Her face flashes on every screen like she's just been crowned Queen of Doom. Oh no, Katie mutters. Oh yes, everyone else says, while slowly reaching for the nearest weapon. The moment Katie's face flashes on the lottery scanners, all the actresses go full gremlin mode. Their supportive smiles vanish faster than free samples, and suddenly they're charging at Katie, with anything not nailed to the floor, purses, hairdryers, even one girl wielding a ceremonial cheese board. A few of them pull out knives like it's dinner theatre, and even the janitor drops his mop and joins in. Thankfully, Katie once took a stage combat for dummies class and starts ducking, blocking, and dodging like she's auditioning for a role in The Matrix, but with drama kids. A rogue high heel flies past her head as she bolts up the stairs, wildly confused and out of breath, muttering, "What is happening?" She slips into the first room she sees, hoping it's like a broom closet or a portal to safety. Nope, it's a self-defense class, and they are pumped to defend themselves against her. The moment they lay eyes on her, they scream, "My jackpot!" Like she's a walking bag of money wearing mascara. The class immediately goes WWE on her. Katie's running in circles, dodging roundhouse kicks, ducking under punches, and occasionally watching people knock each other out by accident. She's desperately trying to ask questions, but everyone's too busy trying to become millionaires with nunchucks. Suddenly, someone grabs her by the ankles and starts spinning her around like a human pizza. With zero warning, he chucks her through the wall like she's made of foam. She crashes into a yoga class mid-downward dog, except this yoga class is also ready to yeet her into oblivion. As if that's not enough, the self-defense crew busts in too, and now the room is just a swirling mess of sweaty people, flying fists, and way too many Lululemon pants. Katie's getting choked out when, boom! The ceiling explodes like a Kool-Aid Man entrance, and in drops Noel, action hero style. With zero hesitation, he yeets the guy choking Katie across the room like a ragdoll and announces, "Katie gets 5 free saves," like it's a limited-time coupon. After that, it's 10% of your jackpot, no refunds. Noel then proceeds to body slam, karate chop, and suplex everyone in sight while counting 1, 2, 3, like a bouncer at a ninja party. As the freebies run out, Katie's like, "Fine, I'll sign the contract." And boom, now they're officially a tag team. He gets really into it. He starts using Katie like an actual weapon, swinging her like a nunchuck, kicking people with her legs, and at one point ties her to his back like a giant sparkly backpack. He whips out a belt and starts Indiana Jonesing his way through the crowd, while Katie flails and screams, "This is not what I meant by teamwork." And that's only the beginning of the chaos. Once all the wannabe millionaires are sprawled out like overcooked spaghetti, Katie wiggles free from Noel's human backpack rig and snatches his dart gun like she's about to stage a mutiny. But Noel just casually plucks it back like, "Nice try, partner," and then proceeds to gently pose all the unconscious attackers like passed-out party guests, propping up heads, adjusting limbs, and making sure no one chokes on their tongues or their pride. "Time's ticking," he says, peeking outside. "The lottery drone is already hovering out there like a snitchy little Roomba, and it drops your location every 14 minutes like clockwork. So unless you want to be the world's most hunted GPS pin, we gotta scram." They burst out of the building like it's the last day of school, only to immediately get a knife thrown at them by a food truck vendor. Katie ducks while yelling, "I just wanted tacos!" And Noel karate slaps the blade away before dragging her to his beat-up getaway car. As they speed through town, phones all over LA ding with that dreaded, "You were near the winner" alert. People start popping out of manholes, climbing out of dumpsters, and even one mine pulls out a crowbar from nowhere. An ice cream truck screeches to a halt and ditches the kids inside, leaving behind melting cones and confused toddlers. Even that sweet old bus lady? She's now packing a grand lottery bolt gun and wearing a war face. Back in the car, Katie's trying to process the madness while Noel gives her the SparkNotes version of the game like it's the most casual thing in the world. So yeah, people can legally hunt you down, but no bullets, explosions, knives, flamethrowers, that's all fair game. Katie's jaw drops. "What? My mum and I only watch baking shows and rom-coms. News was banned at our house because it was bad vibes." Before Noel can respond with yikes, the chase levels up. Now they're being pursued by a gang of bikers and ATV bros who look like rejected stunt doubles from Fast and Furious Yard Sale Edition. Noel tosses Katie a helmet and puts one on himself, yelling, "Hold on to your brain cells!" Suddenly a Molotov cocktail sails out of nowhere and splats onto the roof like fiery ketchup. The top of the car bursts into flames and Katie's screaming, "We're a toasted marshmallow!" While Noel just squints through the windshield, totally chill, and veers into an abandoned warehouse. Conveniently, a gust of wind from a broken window snuffs the flames out like a birthday candle. "See," Noel grins, "air conditioning." Suddenly, Noel yanks the wheel like he's trying to win Fast and the Furious warehouse drift, does a full U-turn, and wham! A biker turns into an unwilling hood ornament. The guy flops off with a dramatic oof as Noel keeps weaving through the warehouse like it's a demolition derby sponsored by Chaos. Behind them, the other bikers are so mad, they literally start a new fire, because apparently arson is their love language. Meanwhile, Katie is clutching the dashboard like it's her childhood teddy bear, yelling, "I quit, I tap out, I'm done." Noel, unfazed, replies, "Cool, just gotta leave the city to officially rage quit the murder game." Easy, right? Then he leans out the window, casually plinks a guy with a tranquilizer dart like he's playing sleepy darts at the carnival. After that, Noel starts doing donuts, literally driving in circles, which kicks up enough dust to make the whole warehouse look like a dramatic sepia-toned dream sequence. They shove the car forward like it's sneaking out past curfew, and by the time the bikers realize they're gone, another Molotov hits the floor like the world's angriest birthday candle. Katie's still chanting, "I quit," like it's a spell, so Noel finally agrees to take her to the official quit line, which sounds like a hotline, but is somehow an actual place. But just as they breathe for half a second, surprise backseat attack! A wild biker lady vaults through the rear window like she's auditioning for America's Next Top Assassin. Katie, thinking fast, steals her knife, while Noel pulls out another dart gun. But Biker Girl isn't going down easy. She goes full zombie mode and bites Noel's arm like he's a burrito. Without missing a beat, he yanks off the rearview mirror and bonks her with it like, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's getting launched at this car, y'all?" Then he casually tosses Katie the wheel and yells, "You drive!" Katie, "I don't know how!" Noel, "Now's a great time to learn." He climbs into the back seat and slaps a spare helmet on the attacker like it's a party hat, then yeets her out the car. As a farewell gift, the bikers throw another Molotov because apparently that's just how they say hello. Noel doesn't flinch. He just tells Katie to drive through a wall, which she actually does. The car bursts through drywall like it's auditioning for a Kool-Aid commercial. Outside, they try to steal a more functional car. A biker crashes, trying to avoid them, and Katie knocks out another one by going full Mario Kart with her helmet. Victory! Until the car immediately goes, "I'm tired," wheezes, and dies on the spot like a squirrel playing dead. Katie bolts like she's trying to run to another movie, but Noel catches her like, "Not so fast, Speedy." He tells her, "Look, if you quit, I don't get paid, but I also kind of want you to live because, basic decency. Treat others how you want to be treated, even if they're a human jackpot in yoga pants." Out of nowhere, Katie scoops up a handful of sand. From where? Who knows? And yeets it straight into Noel's face like she's in a cartoon spaghetti western. As Noel flails dramatically and says, "My eyes! My beautiful eyes!" She clocks him in the nose hard enough that it makes a loud crack. Noel casually pops his nose back in place like he's done this during brunch before. Right then, a cop car pulls up like it's here to save the day. Katie runs up all hopeful like, "Officers, help!" The cops, in true plot twist fashion, pull out weapons and go, "Oh look, free Jackpot Girl." Noel instantly goes full action dad mode, catches a flying taser midair, and starts taking on the cops like it's a discount superhero movie. Katie pieces out real quick, ducking into the crowd and holding up a giant tourist map in front of her face like that's going to work. People start looking up, spot the ominous lottery drone of doom circling above, and suddenly the crowd's like, "She's here somewhere! Release the pitchforks!" Thinking fast, Katie slips into a nearby wax museum, which is 10% history and 90% nightmare fuel. To her surprise, the guard at the entrance is like, "Oh, I hate the lottery. Come on in, kid. Hide between Elvis and Spider-Man." So she blends in with the wax figures like a low-budget Mission Impossible. Meanwhile, Katie calls Shardy and is like, "Can I borrow your car?" Shardy responds with, "Where are you?" And Katie suddenly freezes. Why does Shardy want to know that? Suspicion level maxed out. Just then, one of the museum's creepy animatronic statues activates and cheerfully yells, "Welcome to the museum!" Katie internally screams as her location is now public knowledge. Cut to Shardy and her dirtbag boyfriend DJ rolling up to the museum. The guard immediately blocks them and goes, "No way, you two are banned." Why? Because apparently they did the horizontal tango with a wax statue. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. Shardy, not exactly full of restraint, punches the poor guard out cold, and they strut in like mall robbers. Katie hears them coming and scrambles behind a statue, probably Beyonce or Mr. Bean. She tries to sneak away all ninja-like, only to trip or breathe too loud or sneeze, and bam, she's spotted. Without missing a beat, DJ shoves Katie right onto a desk like she's some kind of clumsy office supply. Katie, not one to play fair, grabs the nearest bottle and hurls it straight at Shady's head. Ding ding, then follows up by tossing a handful of sand right in DJ's grill to make him back off like he just got a face full of beach. Now these two lovebirds tag team like villains from a Saturday morning cartoon, going all team bad guy on Katie. But our girl ain't going down without a fight. She grabs a statue's staff like it's Excalibur and starts swinging away like a medieval ninja. Seeing a chance to escape, Katie bolts, but nope. Shardy delivers a perfect ninja kick that sends Katie flying and poof, staff gone. The next room turns into WWE meets Wax Museum as Shardy and DJ start bashing Katie with the broken staff bits like a pair of amateur cavemen. Katie fires back by chucking statues at them, thinking she's launching share-themed weapons of mass fabulousness. But nope, those are just the Kardashians. Oops. The brawl moves to the horror-themed room where anything goes. Movie costumes, creepy props, you name it. After a wild mess of slapstick hits and near misses, Katie makes a break for it. But wait, Shardy hurls an axe like she's in a Viking reenactment. The axe hits, clink, because it's just a fake prop. Katie smirks, hits a big red button, and whoosh, the museum shutter starts coming down. Remembering Noel's survival tips, Katie quickly tidies up the unconscious guard so he won't start choking. Gross. Then rolls out of the museum like an action hero, just before the shutter slams shut behind her, locking Shardy and DJ inside like waxy prisoners. Suddenly, a tour bus guide spots her and blasts her location over the loudspeaker like, "Hey everyone, Jackpot's on the loose." Yikes, here we go again. Just as the bad guys are about to nab her, bam! Noel rolls up in a police car like some kind of action hero and scoops Katie out of there. But Katie's still side-eyeing him hard because, hey, helping her quit means no paycheck for him, so she's pretty sure he's planning to off her in some dark alley later. Meanwhile, the tour bus behind them keeps bumping the back of their car like an overexcited puppy, and Noel's all, "Man, I wish we had a bunker right about now." Katie just nods and thinks about that shady taxi driver from earlier. Next thing you know, they pull up at Machine Gun Kelly's place. Kelly's staring at Katie like she just asked to borrow his underwear, totally convinced she's up to no good. Right then, whoosh, the tour bus shows up again like a bad smell. Katie snatches Noel's dart gun and drags him kicking and screaming into his panic room. They zap Kelly into dreamland with a perfect dart shot and slam the door shut, almost. But wait, a rogue arm sneaks in and tries to keep the door open like it's playing a weird game of limbo. Noel gets ready to shoot it, but Katie thinks he's aiming at her and snatches the gun. Pew! Pew! Hits the arm with a dart, and it slinks away like a defeated villain. Now safe inside this high-tech fortress, they chill out and watch the angry crowd through security cameras. Katie keeps the dart gun trained on Noel like he's about to pull a fast one, so he just plops down next to her and starts spilling sweet little fun facts about himself, trying to prove he's not a villain. Suddenly, Katie's Oscar keychain takes a nosedive right out of her pocket. Noel spots it and goes, "Hey, that thing's pretty cool." That's when Katie finally spills the beans. She wanted to be an actress for her mum, who was obsessed with movies and celebs. Mum knew Hollywood was basically a nightmare wrapped in glitter, and gave Katie the keychain to remind her she'd be proud no matter what mess she got into. Back in the day, Katie made bank as a kid actor, but guess what? Her dad pulled a Houdini with all the cash. Noel's all warm and fuzzy, so Katie hands back the dart gun and asks why the heck he's helping her quit this crazy lottery game. Noel shrugs and says his priorities are 1. Saving lives, 2. Making enough dough to keep saving lives. 'Cause hey, hero life ain't cheap. Outside, the crowd's banging on the door like it's a wild party they weren't invited to. Meanwhile, Shardy tries waking up Machine Gun Kelly with a slap, but nada. So Kelly ends up getting dragged into the pool and threatened into spilling the door password, which turns out to be the hilarious meme, 6,969. Katie and Noel watch all this, and Noel's face goes full grump mode because now he's got to make a call and ask for a phone strike. He hustles to stash Katie's phone in a safe just in time. They brace the door as Shardy punches in the password, but then everyone's phones go ring ring with amber alerts. Surprise! It's a trap! Phones start exploding all over, making everyone do the ouch dance while nursing burnt bits. Katie and Noel sneak out, but Noel has to stop and play firefighter on someone's flaming nether regions. Outside, a squad of guards in armor-plated cars armed with rubber bullets are waiting. They only want Katie, but she's like, "Nope, you're taking Noel too." During the ride, Katie asks if Noel's one of those security guys. He laughs and says he used to be, but now he's a free agent badass. A little later, they roll up to headquarters where Katie finally meets the big boss, Lewis. Turns out this dude runs the security company. Katie isn't exactly starstruck. Lewis spends most of his time roasting Noel like it's a comedy roast and asks Katie if she can just poof out of the city already. But hey, he does slide her a shiny new phone like a peace offering and brags that she's chilling in the safest building in the whole dang country. Oh, and he casually shows off some grenades in his pockets. No big deal. With only 4 hours left on the game clock, Lewis gives them a fancy tour, showing off a wall plastered with plaques of all the winners they've saved. Except the names are all anonymous, and it looks like business has been kind of slow lately, like Ghost Town slow. Lewis explains they take a hefty 30% cut, ouch, but Katie signs the dotted line after getting promised a slice for Noel. Then, they spot on the security cams that a big old angry crowd is gathering outside, so Lewis decides it's time for an upgrade, moving Katie to a super-secret underground fortress with a bunch of fake-out decoy vehicles. First, Noel and Katie get patched up from their battle scars. Noel starts spilling his backstory. He used to be a mercenary working side by side with Lewis, traveling the globe to off bad guys. But then, Noel got all soft when he realized some of those bad guys were actually just misunderstood. He quit mid-mission, which totally botched the whole thing, leaving just him and Lewis as survivors. Now, all the cash Noel makes goes to help the families of the folks he used to hunt and his fallen buddies. In return, Katie spills the tea about her dad. Turns out, he was her manager/boss from the time she was 8, making her work like a tiny, overworked superstar. But when she finally turned 18 and told Pops, "Hey, I want to handle my own money now," he pulled a classic disappearing act, with all her cash. Classic dad move. Katie then got stuck playing nurse to her sick mum, who sadly passed away just a month ago, leaving Katie with Nader but $600 and a bus ticket to LA. Right then, an employee rolls in with some crazy sci-fi prosthetics machine. Katie shoves her face in, and poof! Out comes a mask that makes her look like a wrinkly old grandpa. Meanwhile, Noel's side-eyeing this whole setup because moving Katie out of there makes 0 sense, especially since this fancy place is way too pricey to run on just 30% of some old lottery cash. Plus, they've been dead in the client department lately. After Katie throws on some undercover clothes to finish her grandpa glam disguise, Noel finally connects the dots. Lewis isn't protecting the lottery winners, he's just pretending, and actually plotting to off them in secret. Yikes. Lewis ushers them into a car, but when Katie begs Noel to come along, Lewis hits the nope button. Desperate times call for desperate measures, so Katie delivers a swift kick to Lewis's groin. Take that, sneaky villain. Meanwhile, Noel uses the distraction to pop open the garage door, then starts zapping guards left and right with his trusty dart gun as the crowd barrels in. The guards are too busy dealing with the chaos to notice Katie, so Noel hauls her out, hands over a stolen keycard, and tells her to run like the wind while he holds the fort. Of course, more guards show up and pin Noel down, but Lewis kicks him around for info like a bad video game boss fight. Suddenly, all the AI-driven decoy cars zoom off, with Katie sneaking inside one of them. Lewis orders his goons to chase after her, but downtown Katie peels off her mask and takes the wheel, shaking up the route and throwing Lewis's system into a panic. Meanwhile, social media is freaking out. Everyone's losing their minds because the drone tracking Katie just totally lost her. If she plays it cool and doesn't mess up, she's golden and safe from the hunters till the very end. Suddenly, Katie's got a bunch of new fans cheering her on like she's some kind of superhero. Just as she's about to hit the road and ghost the whole city, her phone rings. It's Noel, gasping through gritted teeth. "Turn that car around or I'm going to stab Noel. Wait, I mean me!" Spoiler, Lewis is poking Noel like a pincushion, but Noel keeps telling Katie to save herself. Talk about dramatic. After a few confused seconds and some heavy sighing, Katie decides, fine, I'll play along, and does a slick U-turn to meet up. Meanwhile, Lewis hauls the poor, stab-happy Noel to an old creepy theatre and drops the bomb. Back in their mercenary days, he always knew they were offing innocent civilians. Didn't care though. Easy money, baby. Then he admits he's a mega selfish jerk who killed their whole squad and framed Noel because sharing isn't his style. With only 15 minutes left on the lottery clock, Katie grabs a bolt gun from the glove box and storms into the theatre. She finds Lewis and a barely alive Noel on stage and threatens to self-delete, basically blowing up the jackpot so nobody wins. Lewis rolls his eyes and says he doesn't buy it. So, Katie whips out her phone and starts live-streaming the whole thing, proof that Lewis can't scrub away his dirty deeds like fingerprints. Katie launches into a dramatic rant about her life's mess, nearly pulling the trigger, but then Lewis drops the handcuff keys and begs for a deal. Just when he thinks he's winning, Katie pulls the ultimate fake-out. She pretends to hand over the gun, then kicks him off the stage like a pro wrestler. Boom! She's been acting the whole time. No sooner is Lewis down than the other lottery players swarm back in, ready for round 2 with Katie. Game on! Suddenly, everyone Katie bumped into today shows up at the theatre like it's a surprise party, but with way less party and way more blocking every single exit. Katie grabs whatever she can find, a random lamp, a giant foam finger, a suspiciously sticky pretzel, to slow down the crowd. Out of nowhere, Lewis grabs her leg like a clingy octopus, making her faceplant before trying to finish her off. A cop rushes in to save the day, but Lewis just kicks him like a soccer ball and keeps wrestling Katie like it's a weird dance-off. Then chaos explodes as a whole mob storms in. Noel, still cuffed to a chair, starts throwing down by singing the Ninja Turtles theme at full volume. The chair can't take it anymore and snaps, freeing him to kick some butt. Katie bites Lewis, because why not, and swipes his keys, tossing them to Noel, who finally breaks free. While Noel throws down with Lewis, Shadi suddenly shows up swinging a katana like she's in an action flick. Katie just casually disarms her and knocks her out with a well-timed headbutt. Bam! With only 4 minutes left on the clock, an even bigger crowd bursts through the doors. Noel and Lewis go at it hardcore. Lewis grabs a massive axe, but Noel fights back with cymbals, smashing and crashing until he finally takes Lewis down like a rock star. Meanwhile, the bus lady tries to chase Katie up the stage decorations, but Katie just gives her a swift boot-off, like she's clearing out bad party crashers. Noel goes full demolition mode, smashing the decorations so nobody can follow Katie's ninja moves. Then Lewis's crew shows up, and half of them do the ultimate human ladder, because why not? Letting Lewis climb up like a boss, while the other half tackle Noel like a football team on a mission. Lewis finally reaches Katie on the scaffolding, and they start a wild showdown. Think wrestling meets circus act. But uh-oh, Katie slips. She's hanging on for dear life and drops the bombshell. She secretly used her fancy keychain to activate one of Lewis's own grenades. Boom! Lewis goes kaboom, and Katie takes a tumble. But wait, her loyal fans whip out a giant flag like a superhero trampoline, and catch her just in time. As the countdown hits 0, Katie gives Noel a big old bear hug and promises to split the jackpot 50-50. The lottery folks roll in with the giant check, and Katie drops the mic by announcing she's quitting acting for good. Fast forward 6 months. Katie and Noel have turned into charity superheroes, running a free protection squad, a kick-butt school for self-defense and stage fighting, and a centre for kids stuck with terrible parents. Meanwhile, Noel tries to open a Ninja Turtles-themed pizza joint, but gets sued faster than you can say cowabunga for copyright stuff. To celebrate, the dynamic duo cruises off on their very own super yacht for a vacation that's equal parts fancy and ridiculous.
Please subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos.